Hello, have you been wondering how the flyers, the design you see online, both the printed ones, the flares, the stickers, the product branding, and the rest of them? If you have been wondering how they are done, welcome to Dan Graphics Academy. Here I'm going to show you how to make designs using CorelDRAW. Our first Our first two classes, one was talking about how to download and install CorelDRAW. The next one was the introduction to the CorelDRAW interface. So if you don't have CorelDRAW yet, you can watch the video and learn how to download and install it. Then if you have the CorelDRAW already but you don't understand the interface, watch the second video. Now this is our third video where I'm going to show you some things you need to set, some things you need to look at, and how to get your measurement before you start working in CorelDRAW. Let's get the practical started. Now I'm going to, after you have opened your CorelDRAW, I'm using CorelDRAW X7 so that anybody can participate in this class. I'm clicking on the new documents. Now, like our last class, I said we are not going to change anything here. Same thing today, because I'm going to show you how to set your paper size, then show you how to customize paper size. And we are not going to do it here. Reason, I want you to be seeing what I'm doing as I'm doing the practical. So for now, we are not changing anything here. So click on OK. After this class, now you can be setting your paper and start working immediately. Now this is our working space and this is the paper size, and the name of this paper is called letter. If you click here, you're going to see different paper sizes, and all these sizes, they have different things they do. Okay, we are not going to take them one after the other because it's going to take a lot of time explaining them. Let me show you the easiest way you can understand these paper sizes. Now, for instance, if I click on legal, now this legal, I don't know if you know the paper size called A4. This legal is a little bit longer than A4. Meanwhile, I want you to watch this video. This is A4, the photocopying paper. Your normal photocopying paper. If you bring A4 into 2 like this, it is going to be A3. A3, which is this. This is A3. That newspaper you do see on the newspaper stand. If you close the newspaper, it is A3. A3. While the full newspaper is A2. A2 is the size of a complete newspaper. Half of the newspaper is A3 and half of the A3 is A4. You see, A4, which is, if you fold it like this, this is now A4. You are printing your photocopying paper size, and if you break it into 2 again, it is going to give you A5. A5, the size of invitation cards, the flyer and the church people. This is the flyer size, invitation card size, flyer size, big flyer size, church for church programs and events. And this one is A6. This is A6. Also a church flyer size, but a smaller flyer size. And when you fold it again, it's going to give you like an ID card size, although there is a special size for ID card. But follow me. This is A6. 2 A6 will give you A5. This is landscape. This is portrait. Landscape, portrait. Now 2 of A5 is going to give you A4. Portrait, landscape, A4. Now 2 of A4 is going to give you A3. Portrait, landscape. 2 of A3 is going to give you A2 portrait landscape. Now if you bring this A2 another one, if you bring A2 another one, it is going to give you A1. Like this is A1. A1. And if you bring A1 into 2 again and join it together, it's going to give you A0. A0 is the largest if you come to A paper sizes. Although we have other paper sizes. Now if you want to design something like you want to design banner, you can get yourself a meter rule or you get a tape. You can measure by inches, you can measure by feet. In our CorelDRAW class, I will show you on how to set the paper, and also check the measuring unit so that it will match the exact size after printing. Meanwhile, having understood the paper sizes I just explained in that video, here are other paper sizes, but the A paper sizes is the one you have to have in mind as a designer. Then other ones, let's say you can do them manually. Like if you want to design envelope for churches or this bazaar envelope, you can select this envelope 10 to give you the size, although this one is a little bit bigger. Now, how do you customize a paper size? Your client may come up and say, I want you to design a flares or banner for me. 2 of them are the same thing. All you have to do is ask the person what is the measurement. If the person don't know the measurement, that means you have to get yourself a ruler or a tape, a meter rule or tape that you'll be using to take your measurements. Now let's say your client said, I want you to design 4 by 6 feet flyer. Sorry, so 4 by 6 feet flares or sticker that they will use a mount somewhere. All you have to do is this. As your CorelDRAW is open, go to the unit. Remember, here is your property bar. If you were in class, if you have attended our last class before this, here is the property bar. Now, whenever you are not working with anything yet, the properties you are going to see here is talking about the page. Now, anything you set here, you are setting it for your page. So I'm going to the inches, I'm selecting feet because the person said 4 by 6 feet. And the first number is always the width, that is from your right hand side to the left hand side, that is here, from here to here. It's always the first number, 4 by 6. That means from here to here is 4. Then from here to here is 6. Do you see this line I'm drawing? The width is the first number, while the second number is always the height, unless the person doesn't know how it is pronounced. You can simply ask the person whether he or she actually means that from left to right is 4 and from up to down is 6. So when you understand your client, the measurement he's talking about, or if the person is confused, you can simply ask him whether it is going to be portrait. Portrait means that it's going to be like this. It's going to stand up like this. While landscape means if it's going to lie down, that is, the width is going to be bigger than the height. Now when you have gotten the measurement, you go to the feet, depending the unit you use, and do the measurement. But as a designer, I will suggest this for you using feet and inches and feet, because these ones are very easy to understand. Now when you click on feet, you put the measurement 4, you put 4. Now you come here. Do you see where I'm changing? If you go beside these paper sizes, at the top here means the width of the paper, and here is going to be the height. If you press enter, the paper size will change. Now looking at this, you may think that this thing is very small. It is never small. This is actually 6 feet. That's 6 feet they used to dig during burial, dig for as grave. This is the size, 6 feet. But looking at it on the screen, you may think it's small. How do you know? Okay, like the video I just showed you on this screen here. Let's say my former paper size is A4. Let me use A4 for example, the one you can understand. Now let me draw a rectangle to show you how actually A4 is compared to that 6 by 4. Let me put a rectangle. That class before this one, you need to go and watch it, because there I introduce all these tools, because from now onwards we'll be using these tools one after the other. Okay, look at A4 paper here. Now let me fill it color. Then I'm going to click outside. Remember, if you're not working with anything, the properties you see here is for the page. But if you're working with any tool or an object is selected, the properties you see here is for that selected object or for that particular tool. So now, since nothing is selected and the tool I'm holding here is the pick tool. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put that 4 by 6 back for you to compare now that that size is never small. So the thing is still on feet. I'll go up here and put 4. Then come down here and put 6. Now when I press enter, do you see the comparison now? This is actually that A4 paper you use for photocopying. This is the size. Why this one is the main size that your client is talking about, the 4 by 6. Do you see now that this paper, this page now is larger? But if you are just looking at it here, you may think that it's the same size with A4. Now, why I'm explaining these things, because this thing used to confuse my physical students. Remember, well, I'm also a physical tutor. This thing used to confuse them. In my class, I don't just come and show you how to do a particular thing. I show you to understand how the thing is being done, so that anytime, anywhere you are on your own, you can do it by yourself. So it could have been easier for me to just come up here and say, let me show you how to design ID card. I'll click here, click. Now, what if it's not ID card that you want to design? How are you going to set the paper size of the actual work? That's the reason you have to follow the graphics. You follow me step by step. You are going to hit it from beginners level to professional level. Okay, I hope you are getting what I'm saying here. If you are confused, you can drop a comment. Now let me kind of refresh what I just explained here. After opening CorelDRAW, you want to design something for your clients. Now the client said, I want a flyer, a printable flyer, or an online flyer. An online flyer, the difference between online flyer and a physical flyer is this. Online flyer is more of square. The paper is almost square every time. That is, the width and the height is almost square. There's no special way you design them. The only difference is this one is not going to be printed out. This one is going to be printed out. That is, physical flyer is going to be printed out. Why online flyer, you are not printing them out. So if you want to design an e-flyer, although some e-flyer used to be, depending the nature of the work or the taste of what your client wants, sometimes they will say let it be, they want it to be landscape or portrait. That is, they want the height to be bigger than the width, something like that. But normally the size for e-flyer is square. So square means always, remember, this one has to be inches, because nothing concerns this one with feet. Working it on feet is you are just consuming your data you use and upload it, and the space is going to consume in your phone. It's supposed to be in inches, and inside that inches there's no particular size. I used to tell my student is there's no particular size for inches for e-flyer. But what you have to bear in mind is that it is always square. That means the number you put as width is going to be the number you are going to put as height, but the number should not be less than 5, so that at least the design will have quality. I will even suggest the measurement should be from 10, but minimum should be 5. that is 5 inches height and 5 inches width. Sorry, 5. The up will be 5, the down will be 5. You press enter. That is square. I've gotten a square size, so I can now start designing. Let me repeat this again. There is no particular size for e-flyer. It depends on the nature of the work, but mostly the size is always square. Then another thing is you ask your customer, your client, what that e-flyer is going to serve as, because if it's going to, let's say now for YouTube channel banner, there are measurements for it, so you can browse. There are some e-flyers, or what should I call it, there are some designs that needs a particular size depending where the person wants to upload it. I hope you understand. So if there is a particular place your client wants to upload that design, you ask the person, when the person tells you, if you don't know the size, because you can't know every sizes, you can browse, ask Google the size of a particular thing. When Google tells you that size, you come inside CorelDRAW here. Now, what units did Google tell you? Did it say in inches, centimeter, pixels? You now remember also, I have a smartphone graphic design class. So if you don't have laptop, do not panic. There's a class for you as a phone designer. Then you can also learn 2 of them, because there are some cases whereby you may not be around with your laptop and you got a job. You can't just decline that job because you don't have a laptop with you. You can use your phone. Now the application I'm focusing on for graphic design for smartphone graphics is Pixel Lab, and that Pixel Lab, the measurement is always in inches, in pixels. So if you understand measurement by pixels, you can also use pixels or centimeter, feet, and so on. Yards also, you can also, so this is in case you use this tailor or this fashion designers tape. That tape they use, and that tape is always measures by yards. So let's say you use that one to measure. In fact, any unit you use and measure, when you come to CorelDRAW, you first of all select that unit, then you put in the width, whatever thing you measured as your width, that's from left to right or from right to left. Then you also put whatever thing you measured from the from up to down. And here is for papers that already have name, just like the one I showed you in the video, like these paper sizes. This one is usually used for all these church flyer they share on the road, bigger one. Then this one is for smaller one. This one is, if I open all these paper sizes, you will not know the difference unless I did it. I do that example of, let me show you that thing I did comparing 6 by 4 by 6 and A4. This one now is A6. I hope you understood what I'm doing. Let me not be too fast. I selected A6 here, and this is the A6. I double clicked on the rectangle to automatically draw a rectangle on the page. The next thing I did was to drop my 2. Now I'm giving it color. I'll click outside again so that I can change the paper size. Now let me select A5. Let me scroll. This is A5. Now do you see A5 is bigger than A5, which is this one behind, is bigger than A6. And in that video, in that short video, I told you that 2 A6 is going to give you A5. How do I mean? Now when I switch this A5 to landscape, and let me add a rectangle, let me give it a different color. Now, oh, this color is affecting my eye. Let me choose something like this. Okay, now this is that A6 we have before. If you put A6 here and put another one, you see 2 A6 is giving us A5. Now if I bring if I change my paper to A4, you see now this is A6, this is A6, giving us A5, and this is A5, this is A4 now. So if I bring A5 into 2, if you're wondering how I'm duplicating, I taught it in that first class. You move object, and before you leave your mouse, you right click, the object will duplicate, or you can simply select the object and press Ctrl D. That is Ctrl D. So this is 2A5 giving you A4, and so on. I hope with this now you understand what I did practically in that video. Okay, that is how you set your paper size. But what if your client wants to design a very big banner? Are you going to use that exact size and design? No. Reason is this. Just imagine somebody said I should ask me to design 10 by 5 feet banner. How am I going to do that? I'm not going to select feet and put 10 by 5 feet. Press enter. Here, looking at it, it looks small to you. But how do you know? How do you know that this thing is very large? First of all, before I come back here again, let me put this thing in normal. Let me use A5 now and type something. This is my text tool. I will click and type something now. Let me just write A4. Now do you see I can see this A4. If I zoom to page, all these things I've introduced you to them. If I zoom to page, zoom to page, now I can see this A4, because comparing the point size 24 points, it is very visible in A4. Now it's just like taking a needle and keeping on top of A4 paper, you can see it clearly. But when you go and bring a banner that is 5 feet, now let me go and put that 10 by 5 feet again, so that you see that this A4 is going to be very small compared. This is in feet already, and let me customize my paper size. Put 10 here and put 5. Press enter. Where is our 4? I can't even see that 4. Okay, it's here, very tiny. Do you see? Now it's just like the same needle you kept on top of A4 paper size. You are keeping that same needle in a very large space. Now when you keep that needle, you start finding that needle, because comparing that needle with the size where you kept it, is the size is very large. So to avoid, anytime you want to type, when you click your text box and type, you start finding what you are typing, or continue zooming in and zooming out, that kind of stuff. And again, there are some effects where you start applying some effect like shadow and the rest of them, applying transparency to your design. Your system is, your CorelDRAW will start hanging. It's not made, it will start hanging. Now to avoid all those drawbacks, all those delay, look at the trick to this. You can ask Google the alternative of any measurement, or this is the easiest way to do this. Let's say you measured where you want the size of what you want to do. Let's say the measurement is this. I don't know this measurement. This CC rows dot, the dot. I don't know the unit that is that. Now what you have to do is this. Let's say this is the measurement and the unit you use and take the measurement. You took the width, you took the height. Now in real life, I don't even know how this thing is being measured. So what I'm going to do is take that measurement, go to my Google and ask it to convert it to inches, or ask it to convert it to feet. So when it converts it to feet, when I come into CorelDRAW, what I have to do is select my inches and put that one Google gave me, the conversion to inches. Now this if you come to feet, this is 10 by 5 feet, but if you come to inches, this is the conversion. Or you can even, without even going to Google, let's say you measure something in centimeter now. and the measurement was let me just put any number, 3, 2, 3, 4 as the width, and the height is 200, okay, let's say 1/8 in centimeter. This measurement is in centimeter. If I press enter, this is the size. Now, how do I know the size of this thing in inches? All I have to do is come here and click inches. This is the measurement in inches. This is the measurement in inches. Now I want to show you trick. Let me use that 10 by 5 for as example again. Your client wants a big banner, a large format design, be it sticker, be it banner, anything you are going to do, the same way you design ADA, that is the same way you are going to design OB. The only difference is that the material that you are going to use and print it out is different. That's it. Design is always the same, but the thing is that the printing materials, there are people that print on clothes, print on car, print on cups, print on hard materials like stick and the rest of them. But the design is always the same thing, the same tools you are going to be using. So the 10 by feet, I talk a lot about. The reason I talk a lot is for you to understand what is happening. I'm showing you this so that in our next class, I won't be repeating how to set paper, how to customize paper, how to do this and do that. And also for your own good, like one of my students, she was like, Master, how do I, somebody asked me to design flares for her, but I don't know how to design flares. Then I asked her, if you don't know how to design flares, okay, I asked her, but you know how to make normal flyer design? She said yes. I told her that is the same way you are going to do this. The only thing is that the measuring units or the measuring size is not the same. You have to measure that place the person wants to hang the banner, measure it and come and put the measurement and do your design. You see, so if you think that the design method is different when you want to design banner, those banner, even the ones that cross two mirrors at a time, those big banners you see when traveling, those advert banner, this is the way you do them. There's no special way. So do whatever thing it is going to take you to understand this class. If it's going to, in fact, I would like you to save this video as a beginner. My class is mostly focused on beginners, those people who are new to Corel. Even old takers can also, this class will also be beneficial to them. Okay, back to what I was saying. Let's assume your client say 10 by 5 feet is the size of the banner. So what you're going to do is come to the inches, that is the units, and select feet first. He said 10 by 5 feet. Enter. The measurement is too large. If I want to type something, I'm not seeing what I'm typing. It's too tiny. It's too tiny. So what I'm going to do now is, before I start designing, I will put this thing in inches and put that same number, 10 by 5 feet. Sorry, this one now is in inches. Do you see that? To you now, or to your eye now, you may think that nothing changed, nothing happened. But let me show you that something actually happened, because 10 feet and 10 inches, they are can never in this world be the same thing. This is how it was before. Let me put a rectangle and put a color. Put a color now. Now let's go back by clicking outside, put this in inches, and put that same 10 by 5 feet. Sorry, inches. Look at what happened. Let me zoom out. I'm using my mouse to zoom out. Look at the feet here. Look at the inches. Do you see? Difference is very clear. They are the same if you are looking at it as like before, but in actual sense, this is the comparison here. This is the measurement in feet, while this is the measurement in inches. So what I'm trying to say here is this: When you are designing a large format, convert that measurement you have in feet, like 10 by feet now, 10 by 5 feet, for example. You are going to click on inches, put that measurement in inches, that same number. That same number you put at the top is the same number you are going to put under inches, the same number for the height. And you can start designing. When you click your text tool and type, you'll be seeing everything clearly. You work comfortably. Now, after working, you convert to image, that is, convert it to image and send it to your customer. When your customer confirms the design and every other corrections have been done, now you can now resize to your normal size. Let's do this thing practical. First of all, let's just make a simple design. I want to design an ID card. Let me browse my system and look for any simple design so that you will understand this thing practically. Let me use this, for example. Copy. Okay, this is an ID card sample. I want to use it for this tutorial. And this ID card, I use a normal Japanese ID card. Or you can use the normal size for ID card, which is always 2 by 3.5, but I'm using Japanese. This is the measurement, Japanese ID card, that's the size I use. If you want to design complementary card, ID card, you can use this measurement, or you remove all these fractions and just put it to, then remove all these ones and leave it at 3.5. Then if you want to switch it to landscape, you click here, it's going to change to landscape. Okay, this one is portrait. Now, if you look at this simple design, this is a very simple design. Now, this design, if you look at the text do not reach to the edge. There are gaps before the edge. For me, I design without using rulers, but as a beginner, you're supposed to be designing with ruler. The ruler will be guiding you so that you can align your work very well, and also to avoid getting to the edge of your design. Every other thing like this shape I put here can get to the edge, but your text more especially shouldn't get to the edge of the paper. So what I mean is this: you place your mouse on this thing that looks like a ruler, just hold it and drag it down. I'm creating a margin using this tool. You can drag as many as you want. And let me drag again. This one is going to be here. I will drag another one. Drag another one. Now this thing means whatever thing I'm going to do in this my design, my text should not cross this edge. I'm creating a manual margin. Just like when you want to type in MS Word, the text will not start at the edge. It will always give space. So that space is what we are creating, margin. Okay. Now the next thing is to put my background. Here I use white background as the normal background. Double click. Always double click to get perfect size. Now I'm going to use white, or let me put any color so that you understand that I didn't just start working on the plain this thing. If you mistakenly move something from the page and you want it to come back to the exact point on the page, just press P, press letter P, select the object and press P. This P now I'm showing you, P. There's no control, no shift. Just select the object and now your keyboard, you press P. It's going to fit in at the center of the page. Even this P now, if I want it to come to the center of this page without me moving it, I will select it and press P. So anything you select and press P is coming to the center of the page. Remember that, because we'll be using it a lot. Okay, this is going to serve as our background. Remember, I'm supposed to put it to white, but because for you to understand that I put color here, that's why I'm using this color. Later, I'm going to change it to black, to white. Now, um, CorelDRAW works with layer. I explained that in my Pixel Lab class, Introduction to Pixel Lab. Look at this shape. If let me continue. If I add color here and draw another one, you find out that this one is already at the top. If I continue drawing, you will notice that the shapes are being on top of each other. Are on top of each other. Why I'm trying to say this is because if you look at this design, you see that this line is under this red shape, and this red shape is under this blue one, and this blue one is under this place where this passport is, just like this one now. But you can rearrange. Any new objects you draw is automatically going to be at the top of the ones you have already. Any new object is always at the top of the last one you drew. Now, how do you rearrange? Let's say I want this pink rectangle now to go behind the orange or to go behind the yellow. All I have to do is covering the yellow already. So I want it to go behind the yellow. Right click on the object, go to order. Right click objects and go look for anywhere you see this word order. Now here you see commands. I want it to go behind, so I'm going to say behind. Now it's going to ask you, this arrow is asking you behind what. You now click on the particular object you want it to go behind. Now when you click, you see this pink now is behind the yellow, and of course the yellow is behind the orange. That's why it's behind two of them. If you want the pink, or let's say you want the red now, you want the red that is behind all of them to be at the front of yellow. Right click, order, you say in front of. I would like you to practice all these ones. Because of time, I won't be doing them, but this is the one I normally use, so you can also be using them. In front of what? In front of the yellow. Now due to that the yellow is already at the top of pink, that's why it is going to cover them. Why am I showing you this? Because of this thing has layer 1, 2, 3, 4, which means I'm going to draw this rectangle, this one here. I will draw the rectangle. This is the rectangle. Let me put it color because it has no color. Let me just put any color. Why I'm showing you this color, so that you understand and you see the layers I'm talking about. Now this one has a sharp edge, but this design we have here has a curved edge. If you remember in our last class, before this class, I talked about shape tool, how to use shape tool, what the shape tool does, although we still have a special class for it, but for today let's use it and just do this. Click on the shape tool. Now hold any of these points here and then move it down or up. You'll notice that the edges will curve. And on that our same class, let me now put this thing black, white, and put this one white, because two of them are white. And our last class I talked about outline. I want to change this black line, I want to change it to red, and I want it to be a little bit thicker, just like this one. What I'm going to do now is come down here. I hope you are following my mouse. Come down here, double click. If you are in that last class, you understand this. Now go here and choose number. The bigger the number, the thicker the line. Okay, let me cancel this. Let me still remind you in the other class. Double click on the tool again, the tool below here. Double click. Let's see, you choose 16 for example, and you forgot to select this thing. If you click, the outline will start coming inside. I hope you remember. But if you select these two options, it it is going to go behind. You see something happened here. So what I'm saying is this: go here, choose the color. Look at color here. I want it to be red, and I want it. DR16 is too much. Let me use 4. Then remember this. Always remember this. Don't forget this. Mark 2 of them and click OK. Now let me remove the pink color because our normal color is black. Now here, I don't want this color because the one as sample do not have it. As in our main background is the object that is behind everything. That is the main background. So I want to remove it. I don't need it. I can simply go here. For now, I will not see no color here. All these things have color. How am I going to remove the color? I will go to my color tools here. Remember what I told you in the other class, that when you select an object and right-click color, right-clicking color is going to change the color of the outline, or you can come here and change it on your outline too. So inside our color here, there's one that means no color. This one with X, it means no color, which means if you click on it, means you don't want any color inside. Let me do it practically. This box has white color. If I come here and click on this, which means I don't want color inside it, there's no color. Now it's transparent. It is only the edge that is showing. Now let me put the color back white. If I don't want this green color on the edge, that is the outline, I don't want it. I don't want any color at all. I'm going to right click. Remember, anytime you right click, it's going to affect the edge, that is the outline. So I'm going to right click. You see the color is no longer there. So now follow me. This red rectangle, I don't want any. Okay, let me undo. You can press Ctrl Z, or you click on this icon here, undo. On the status bar, click this, undo, or you press Ctrl Z to go back to what you did last. The more you are clicking undo, you continue going back. While if you go back small and you want to go front, this is the opposite. So this our main background, I want it to be white color. Just I have added a white color. Now if the color you are looking for, whatever color you are looking for is not here, click on this arrow here, these 2 arrows. You click on it, you see the whole colors. Now right click, because I don't want that black color. Right click, it will clean it off. Now here I can simply right click here. Since I put the measurement, the thickness of the line, the width of the line already, I can simply right click here, or go to my normal outline tool and put color. That's the first stage. Now the second stage is this. I should have shown you how to draw this shape, but I'm going to show you what magic we can be using for now. Then later we learn how to use shape tool. I think that is going to be our next class, how to use shape tool and draw shapes. Okay, I can simply draw a rectangle. Let me delete these ones. I don't need them again. Delete. Draw a rectangle. Now this rectangle, I'm going to rotate it to give me something like this. I hope you understood. Remember how to rotate. Let me do it again. When you draw a shape and you want to rotate, click on that shape again and use this to rotate. That's what I did. Let me draw the one that looks like a square. If you want to draw a perfect a square or perfect shape, that is the width and the height, you want it to be the same thing. While drawing the shape, hold Ctrl and draw. It's going to give you a the height and the width is going to be the same. But if you don't hold Ctrl, you are the one to draw it the way you want. So I've gotten something like a square. Now click on it, rotate, bring it here. Now the first object is the red one, and the red has mixture of black and red. I remember in that our class, I thought how to add more than one color using this or this field tool, this interactive field tool. I prefer using interactive field tool. Go and watch that. That video is very important. You need that video. Click. Now you can simply drag. You can drag. I'm dragging in that. If you look here, is red. I'm dragging like this. You can drag from here to up, any of them. Let me undo. Control Z, Control Z. Let me repeat it again. If I click on the interactive field tool, you can choose color style from the top here, like that linear I first drew. You can come here, it has automatically drawn itself. Then you can choose whether it's going to be a circle. I don't need to be repeating this. I'm even wasting time because these things are already in that class. So I want the red to be here. I want the black to be here. I can move any of them. Now here, you can click here and choose color. This thing is already, so I'm not wasting time. Let me not even be wasting time. This thing, the tutorial is already there for you. I want pure black. I want this black. And this shape now, it has a black line. I don't want it. Just like I did on the background, I'll right click. Okay, I've gotten this shape. But how about this part that is showing? How do I cut it off? For now, we are going to use what is called power clipping. Power clip. We are going to use this to hide the remaining parts of this object. I will do it, then if you don't understand it, drop it on the comment section then so that I can make a special class on this. But at least by the time we will do it 2 times, 3 times now, you will understand how it works. I'm going to first of all power clip this one. Power clipping is just like putting something in show glass. That buns you used to go to Mama Nkechi shop and buy. The buns, they will sample it inside a showcase. Now that showcase, you can't take the buns from the front of that showcase because the glass will be blocking you to take that buns. So for you to take the buns that you are seeing in Mama Nkechi shop, they have to open the back of that showcase, that glass showcase. Open it now, put on and bring that buns and give to you. So what we are going to power clipping is like putting that buns inside showcase. I don't know if I even understand what I'm saying. Look at what I mean here. Let me extend this. Now looking at this object, it has crossed the main background of our design. Now I want to put this shape inside this background. So I'm going to right click it, click on power clip and click on the background. You notice any magic here? I carried that shape inside our background, which means I cannot just from here now move that shape. It will not move. What I'm seeing here is the background. What I'm moving the entire background. So it's like I want to now from the front of the glass, that showcase, to collect buns from Mama Nkechi shop. It will not work. The only thing I can be doing is moving the show glass, which at the end of the day I may fall it and the thing will break. Now how do I control that shape that is inside? How do I take that buns that is inside the Mama Nkechi show glass? I have to open it. How do you open? Right click and use this method. For now let's use this method. As time goes on, you understand shortcut to do that. You click on edit, you right click the container. That's our background now has served as container. You will right click and click on edit power clip. Now when you click on it, it's like now you are inside that Mama Nkechi show glass. That buns she's selling, you are now inside that box. You can now touch that buns, romance that buns, touch it. You can even bite it and keep it back. So this is that shape inside this our container. If you look at this blue rectangle, is that our background where we power clipped the object. That is where we put the object, and this is the object. Now, after arranging the object the way you want, let me shift it one side so that you understand what I'm saying. After rearranging, now any part that did not come within this blue line, any part that did not come within this blue line is going to cut off. Like that is all these places is going to cut off. So when you are done arranging the way you want, you can simply right click. You can right click the object and click finish this level. Not right clicking outside. Remember what I told you in the last class, that when you right click outside is different from when you right click inside object. So you right click inside object, you will see finish editing, or there's something that looks like a TV. When you come closer, it will appear. Sometimes it will be at the bottom, sometimes at the top. So move to it and click. Now look at what we did. Remember, if what you want to be at the page is one side, click on it to be at the center. You may think that I've just divided this. Edit content. Let me put this in color so that you understand what is happening here. So anything I want to do to that shape now, this shape, I have to right click, edit, and go and adjust it the way I want. If I don't need it again, if I don't need it, I will go and say extract. Extract means bringing it out. I have brought it out. Now here, this thing means that it is open. Anything I drag here is automatically going to go inside. To avoid or to clear this power clip, to clear it, right click, go to frame type and click on none. It will clear up. So you are free now to move objects. Now let me bring this thing back to how it was. Okay, I'm going to do it very quick now. Draw. Quick. I think I've explained what I need to explain here. So I'm going to do it quick. The color should be red. Let me adjust so that it will match. Okay, now I'm going to give it white color, the background white color, this one white color. Now power clip this one inside. Reason I'm okay, let me click outside, cancel. Reason I want to power clip is because if I power clip this one, you now see, because I just drew this thing now, it's automatically at the front of this. What do? I have to right click any of them and reposition, rearrange by using order. I want it to come in front of this. Now if I go and power clip only this one so that this place will cut off, select and click here. You see this rectangle is at the top. I don't want it to be at the top. Now for me to send this thing behind this, if I use order and use behind this, that means I'm sending the object behind the showcase and not inside the showcase. This red object you are seeing, this red object, let me undo this one now. I inserted it, let me put this in color. I inserted into this blue, this sky blue something. I inserted it here, just like now. This is the buns. I've put it inside the Mama Nkechi's show glass. Now this is a meat pie. This one now, this white one is meat pie. You now want to put the meat pie inside behind these buns. The buns, the meat pie, you want to put the buns. You want to put the meat pie behind the buns. So what you're going to do, since the meat pie is going to be behind, you can first of all power clip this. Don't worry, you will get to this. I'll power clip, I'll put the meat pie first. Now I want the buns to come inside, right click, power clip, and click the container. The buns is inside. Now if there's any mistake, let's say you power clipped it and it was something like this, it was like this in your screen, what you have to do is, since two of them are power clipped inside, right click, edit content, come here now and rearrange order. in front of this white one. Now for that blue one, I can simply duplicate this. And change my color here so that I won't waste much time again. This one is going to be this black one. I want it to be blue, and this one is going to be red. Sorry, cyan. Let me leave it that way. Drop my 2. Now click here. Our color, let me put it back to white. Put the rectangle. I want curve A just like I did here. Now let me put any color, or if the picture you are going to put there has color, it will cover it. If you want to learn how to remove background of a picture, go and watch there's a short I uploaded. That short will show you how to use photo room to remove background of a picture. Now I hope you are getting what I'm doing here. I want to apply shadow. Click here. I explain how this shadow works. So I'm not going to waste time here. Okay, let me go and bring picture. Let me use my picture for example. Or let me use another picture. Paste. This picture now has a background. There's a okay, that one is not here. Go and watch my short on how to use photo room to remove background of a picture, please, to save you time. Now I want to put this picture here because this picture, if I'm just placing the picture on the front of this shape. I want it to take the shape of this. I want the edge to curve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that same power clip in the same way I put this shape inside the bigger our background. I'm going to put this picture inside here using power clip. Right click, power clip inside. You now click the object. Now when you are power clip, it doesn't mean that the object has to be on top of, because like now this thing is on top. Now if I say power clip and I'll be finding the object, I'll be finding it hard to click on the particular object I want it to enter, and I can't be clicking on the picture. It's just like when you want to carry yourself up, you want to put something inside the same thing, it's not going to work. So just move this one side so that you can see your container. This is going to serve as container. Right click now, power clip, and click. It is inside. Now if there is any mistake, let me show you what I mean. Let's say this picture is too large and you right click and click on power clip. Do you see this is not what I want? I want to adjust it. I'll have to now right click again and go to edit power clip. Remember, I will still show you how to use this shortcut to do that, but for now, understand what power clip and how it works. I'm reducing both edges, holding down the shift key. And remember what I told you in the other class, don't resize picture like this. Don't stretch or compress picture like this. No. Instead, use any of these 4 vertices as in these edges here. Use it and resize. You can resize one after the other, or hold down your shift key as you are moving. Because when you hold your shift key and move any anchor, it's going to be moving both sides. So I'm holding shift key to move from the edge. That's why both sides are. So anyhow you fix this thing within this blue line. The blue line is showing you the edges of the container. If it's like this here and you click on this, it's going to be one side. So always fit the thing very well, fit it inside very well. And now typing is very simple. You pick your text tool, click and type. enter to jump into another line. This thing is supposed to be students identification. No, they follow your customer to make their mistake. You have to also be smart. Now these tests they are together. If I do anything, it's going to affect two of them at once. If I increase size and reduce, everything I do will be affecting all of them. Now, to avoid what I'm doing to graph is not to affect students' identification card, I have to separate the two tests by pressing Ctrl key. So Ctrl K, or I'll select the object and go to Object. Now you will see break. Break. You click on it, it's going to break it. So this one I want it to be bigger. That is the main what I'm going to use as my header. That is the hierarchy. I'm going to apply it here. Remember, there is a course, free course, where you can learn that teaches the principles of graphic design. These things I'm doing here, I've taught you in the other class, so I shouldn't be wasting time to save time in this video. And that is the reason you have to remember this is our margin. So anything I'm doing, it shouldn't cross this edge. So I continue reducing the size, or I'll adjust it manually. Don't increase text like this or switch it. It's going to make it not look good. Use your font size, or you do it manually using this point, just like pictures. It's not a must that it will be at the edge there. Let me bring it down small so that place will not be too scant. I will later show you how to align text using keys, but for the sake of this class, I don't want it to be too long. It's already long. I don't want it to be too long. I would like you to practice this if possible. If you can practice it and send it on my WhatsApp or post it in our community, I would like it so that I will know how you are improving. Then if you want to, my number is already here, which you can send it to my number if there is corrections, because I like to see the work of my students, and if there is need for correction, I will show them. Now I'm going to type this. The size is too much already, so I can simply drop my tool and reduce it so that it won't give me the stress of. Use your keyboard and draw this line. Sometimes you don't need to go and take this and start drawing. You can do it if it's normal horizontal line. You can just simply draw it using your shift and the minus. Hold down the shift and pressing the minus key. Let me choose a particular size. Let me use 7 for example, and I want to change the font to Times New Roman. Now I want to continue typing. If you are typing and maybe you stopped and you want to continue again, just select the text and press the text to your cursor will start blinking again. You continue from where you want. I want to break, press enter, address, another line. Now since address is always long, so I have to make it double line. Make the lines to come closer to each other. Not this one will be in Jamaica, the other one will be. Always make your work to be neat. And for you to become a very good designer, you have to think designfully. You have to be creative. That's what I want to say here, because your creativity makes you stand out. You may be creative than your teacher. The only thing is understand the process. Like for me, some of my students are even creative than me. But the thing is this: before you can apply your creativity, you have to understand how the tools work. Now after typing, I want to create space between these lines. In our first class, you need that class. That class is very important for you. I'm going to use shape tool and drag down. I explained this in that class. Now, if you want here to balance very well, that is when alignment comes in. I'm going to use full justify to now balance very well. it will look as if I measured it. The reason this thing work is because I made the lines to be closer to each other. Just imagine now. Just imagine something like this. The lines are scattered. If I go and click on justify, look at, it's going to stretch this thing, giving space. So to avoid this, make sure I'm undoing Control Z. Make sure the lines come closer to each other so that they will arrange. After you go and click on justify, it will balance it. Now for these ones, now let me also give you a clue. Let's say you are actually designing an ID card for a school. You are designing an ID card for a school. Once you are done with the first design and they have confirmed the design, they like it, all you have to do now is to duplicate this design. Let me complete it first. Let me complete one. Miss, I don't know her name. Miss Rita Okoye. Let me put, the size of this one is 7. Let me make this one also 7. But I can make this one bold and use the same font. Always be unique, always be uniform, as in always be composed. If you're a graphic designer, in real life, graphic designers are always neat, organized. If you're a graphic designer, your life will be organized. Or if your life is not yet organized, you start learning how to organize things. Let me break it down here. This is actually my real life contact. In case you want to contact me, if you want to show me your work or give me contracts, that's my number. Let me just type anything here to save time. I'm duplicating this using our mouse method, DGF/2026/ blah blah blah. Okay, now in actual sense, you are done with the design. You see, you have gotten almost the same thing. The outline of this one is a little bit thicker than this. So how do I edit this thing? Because if I click on it and do anything, it's going to affect the name background. Let me show you. Anything I do is affecting the, so for me to work with this one below inside, I have to edit power clip. Remember, we power clipped it, so you go inside there, click, and apply what you want to apply there. Let me put it on 2. Remember, this has to be active. Click. I think it's okay now. Let's leave that one. Now when you are done designing, you have to be saving your work to avoid your power supply failure. Let's assume now if something happened to this CorelDRAW and it closes, all these things, I'm going to lose them. So that is why as you are working, you'll be saving. How do you save? Go to file and click on save, or you press Ctrl S, or look for this icon on the status bar. I just showed you 3 ways now. File, go to save, or look for this icon or press Ctrl S. It's going to ask me what's the name. I will now give it a name. If you are, for now, I know you should the graphics students ID. This is the name I'm giving to this work, and the format is CorelDRAW. I will now look for a location. I want it to be, by now you're supposed to know, create a folder or know a particular place you should be saving your work. As a graphic designer, always be organized. Always be organized. If you don't know how to be organized, I can still make a class for that. Let me say this is the folder I want it to be. And here, version. We have so many versions here. If this work, you want to later open it in lower version, let's say you want to open it in 215 or S3, that's S CorelDRAW 13 and the rest of them, you want to open it in lower version, you go and select the version. But if it's going to be, as you'll be using this S7 to open it, you still leave it in S7. Click save. Now here we change this place, we have our title 1 is going to change when they save in here. It has done saving. Now the work has been saved, but that doesn't mean you will not be saving your work. Like if I move this thing, I want it to remain like this, I have to save it so that it will remain like that. So as you save the first one, the more you work, as you do small things, just once in a while you save. You can even be timing yourself every 10 minutes you save, depending the gravity of your work. Then as time goes on, you get to understand what I'm saying. Now I'm done with this work and I want to show it to my client. I'm not going to carry my CorelDRAW like this or use my phone and snap it and go and show it to my client. No, I have to convert it to image. When I convert it to image, I can now go to send it to my phone and forward it to the owner. When the owner sees it and approves it, I can now continue with other stuff. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to select this whole thing by dragging over. I've taught you this in last class. Drag over, right click inside. Remember, right clicking outside and right clicking inside is not the same thing. You will love this class because this class is going to make you understand, as in stand on your own. It's just like training you as a man to go to war and fight for yourself. Now I've grouped this work. The next thing I'm going to do is I can publish it as PDF file to my client, and I can also convert it to another format depending the format the person is requesting it for. All I have to do, we have PDF, we have export, we have import. Later we'll talk about import. For this class, we are going to focus on this. In fact, this is the main one we are going to focus, because inside this you can get this. Let's focus on this export. And this export, you can also see it from, you can also see it inside file. Go to file, you will see export, or you press Ctrl E. Export. Any of them is the same thing. Now this is the name, but I want to do it since I'm going to, let's say for example, now I want to do this thing for up to 20 students. I can convert this particular one as student ID 1. Now this format, it's the format, maybe depending the kind of client you have. If the client said he wants it to be in PDF, then click here and select, look for PDF, look at PDF here. Then if it's going to be another format, let's say as an illustrator, any format I choose. But if it's going to be normal picture, which is the one we'll be using and the one you will be using, of course, this is the one you're going to choose. JPEG, JPG bitmaps, not this one. This one is also at the top here. This and this, they are the same thing. You click. If you scroll down, you see more formats depending the format your client wants. Select it. It should be this. It should be this. For pictures, this is the one you are going to select. Now give it a name and click. This select only means if you, let's say if I have selected only this picture, this particular picture, without selecting others, that means I'm exporting only this picture. That is only, select only. And reason it came out is because, let me cancel, is because I selected this subject. If I do not select it, the option will not be there. Let me click on export. The option is no longer there. So it will only come out when you select. And I always advise that you select your work, because other things may be around, and when you export, all of them are going to follow, or you may miss something. Something happened to me, and that was a very huge mistake. The mistake was that I was exporting and I did not select my work. So what exported was only the background, and due to I was in a rush, I just sent it to the printer. The Mumu printer self did not even ask me, you see this, how this thing is. The person just printed the background with no write-up, just the background design, just printed it like that. That day I don't know if I'm to blame myself or the printer. So to avoid something like that to happen to you, when you are done with your work, select and group. If you want to confirm what you did, you click outside, move to confirm that what you selected is actually what you want. Let me press P. Now export. Like I said, I'm going to give this one 1, and the format is this: select only, click on export. Now your export is going to take time depending on the size of the work you want to do. Later we talk about this, not in this class. Later we will talk about this because there are some exports you will be doing, you need CMYK. Why there are some you will be doing, despite you use CMYK to do it, you have to also put it on RGB. But for now, let's leave it on CMYK. Later we talk about that. Now this is the preview. If it is actually what you want, you can now click OK. But I'm canceling it because I want to show you something. Let's say there is something that is here, and that something did not have color, and I don't know that it was here, and mistakenly I selected it, or I did not select it. Just I started exporting. Look at what will happen. Look at what will happen. Do you see? So instead of exporting only my work, it's giving me extra space. Now the reason it's giving me that because there was a shape that was here, and that shape I didn't notice it. That's another reason you have to be selecting your work. There was something here, and because that thing was transparent, I didn't notice, and I clicked on export. This is another reason you should be exporting. And if you are looking for a lesson, I'm looking for that and I'm not seeing it with my physical eye, then I have to go spiritually. How do you go spiritually? You go to view on the menu bar, go to view, and you can click any of these things. Add this wireframe. You can use simple wireframe. It's going to show you the kind of a skeletal work frame of your work. You can now see the objects. You delete it, then go back to view and go to enhance. Put it to come back to normal. That is in case of you are finding something and you are not seeing it. There was something spiritually you are not seeing. Go to view. That thing is disturbing you. You have selected your work, but still the thing is making your work look crazy. Select, just go to view, and you will see all the spiritualism. Both your village people that are pursuing you, you will see them here. And now go back and put it on enhance. So let's now do the last export. Let's do the main export. I've talked a lot. Select only, so that I'll make sure that it's only what I selected. Can now click export. Leave it on this for now. For now, leave it on this. Later we discuss this. Click OK. Now this is the raw file. I will still show you how to do this in our PCL lab class, so that if you don't know how to use phone, if you don't know how to use computer, you can, or if you don't have computer, you can use your phone. Let me go to my folder where I exported it. Let me also explain this. When you are exporting, always know where you are exporting your work. Always know the location, so that after exporting, you will not start looking for it. Like now, the one I exported itself, and even now I go to my main folder, I will start looking for it because the folder where I exported it was inside videos, which is not the normal place I used to export my work. So when you export, although I can go back there, copy and pop, but let me repeat it as a warning to you and to me. Whenever you are exporting, you give it a name, give that your export a name. Now select location where you want the work to go into. Always be mindful of where you save your work and where you export to. So the next thing is to click export. After that, you click OK. Now let me go to my folder. Go to my folder now. Look at it. You can now send it to your client. You know how to send to send as Bluetooth, or use your cord and send. There's another method I will also show you in our class on how to send something without Bluetooth and without cord. I will do that, but not today. Okay, now you can now send it to your client, and when your client confirms the work, if there is any correction, you come back to your raw file, do the correction, send it again, convert it, and so you continue doing that until the work is confirmed. Now, let's say now you're actually doing this thing for a school, and that school has so many students. What you have to do now is go to your page one, right click on it, and duplicate page. When you duplicate, you select this, copy layer and their contents. Now this is page one, this is page two. Inside page two, you can now ungroup, remove, edit power clip, extract, remove this person's picture, and go to your file where you save their pictures. Let me use my one now. This is the person talking to you. I will right click and paste. Oh, too large. Too large. I zoomed out using my scroll button. Now right click or clip, do the editing, edit contents, adjust every. Had even I remove the background of this picture, this thing will not even take me time. Now look at the age here, it is showing. So that's the reason you have to learn how to remove background. But look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my eyedropper, copy this color and pour it inside here. At least it is manageable now. It's manageable. Or, in fact, the best thing is to remove the background so that I can adjust it the way I want. Okay, let me also show you this trick because I may not remember to teach you. Now, if you look at this color, they are not matching. This one is lighter, this one is darker. Despite I copied because this image came with, it was exported using RGB, but if I want to copy, it is showing me CMYK. So what I'm copying is the CMYK of the color, and the CMYK of this color is this. If you are in that last class, you understand, you will see where I practice. I showed you difference between RGB and CMYK. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to duplicate this object, this picture. Now use my crop tool. I explained this thing in the other class. Select only that blue background, double click to cut it up. Now I'm going to put it here and send it to go behind, or that behind this. I'm showing you editing now. I'm going to stretch it. It's going to now cover the whole back. Click, close. I think it's better now. It's better now than before. So you now change the name of your student and everything. After that is how you continue duplicating until you are done. Then you can simply convert the work to PDF or export them depending. Now for our paper size stuff, let's assume that this work is supposed to be 2 by 3.5 feet. In real life, it's supposed to be 3 by. Do you see another reason why you have to be using measurement? Normally this thing, there was fractions. I'm supposed to remove those fractions. Okay, look at what you do. Let's say this work now is supposed to be in feet. It's supposed to be very large, but due to we don't want our CorelDRAW to be hanging, I want to do this work easily, we used inches. Now what I'm going to do now to resize it to the actual size my client wants, if the fraction is too distant, you can write them down like this number, and I feel not carry them for it. I can just copy it, click my text tool, and paste it, or write it down. Select this one also, click outside, copy this one also, and paste it outside. Now this is the width and the height of this measurement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click outside. Now put this thing in feet. Put this thing in feet and put these measurements. This one's supposed to be 2.165 3.5. Then the one below is 3.65, sorry, 3.583. Press enter. Do you see the normal size I'm supposed to use and do that design? But to save the stress, let me bring out that number and increase it so that I can resize this one. Now select this, select my work. You see how I did this? Select, make sure you cover everything and group. Okay, it's grouped already. Now put the same number. The first one I did was for the page. Now the second one I'm going to do is for the design itself. Now I'm going to put it 2.165 by 3.583. Enter. It has given me the exact size. Now, looking at this, thank God this thing happened at once. Look at my shadow. My shadow just misbehaved. It just moved small. So what I'm going to do, let me ungroup. The color of the outline is white. I will simply right click white here. It will solve the problem. I don't want to stress yourself. I don't want to stress yourself. Just any color that is outlined. Now, if there is no outline at all in that object and the thing happened, just let's assume there was no outline before and that thing happened in this object. What I have to do is select that object and go and click our normal no outline now, the one you know now. Just go and right click here. Simple. It will not add any outline for you and that shadow will correct itself. So that is how you are going to do anywhere you apply shadow, you select them one after the other and add outline if that choose the same outline color if that thing has outline, but if it doesn't have outline, you go and select no outline. It will clear it off. Then this one you are seeing here, you also go and check it. The size is too small. You go back here. This is, you can also change it from here or go to your normal tool. Increase it. Let me make it like 12. Okay. I'll make it 24. I think it's okay like this. You can actually put any number you want. So that's it. By then you must have been done with the this thing, with the corrections. But for me, even at that, before as in resizing it to the actual size, what I have to do is I will also duplicate the work, because sometimes this client, their corrections doesn't finish. Maybe when you are at the place you want to print it, they will call you that they want to change something. So you can simply do the correction here, or if the thing is going to be heavy, you can go back to your small one. Like now, this is the one we duplicated before we resized the other one. So I hope you understand. You can now convert this. Now this one is going to take time to export because the size is bigger. For the same procedure, select, you export. Then remember to be saving your work. Oh God. Remember, this class is going to train you, is going to nurture you from being a beginner to being a professional. So do the right needful. If you are new here in this class, subscribe so that you'll be getting notification whenever we drop new topic, just like the things I said I will later show you. And also, if you haven't watched the last 2 videos I made, go to my playlist and watch it. Then how to remove picture is also there in my shorts. Do the needful, like, share, recommend this page to your friends. If you're a student, you can recommend it to your friends, your classmates, so that they can come and learn graphics either with their phone, because the class is there, or with their laptop. For now, see you next Wednesday, because our normal class, our full tutorial class, drops on Wednesdays, while other days can be maybe small touches and the rest of them. See you in the next video.